sometimes are psychological.
I said it before,
Financial cost
as one of the many
was
reasons
enormous.
was a God experience. I just wanted to find God.
Simply feeling like you're inspired isn't always so.
Tell us about the solution.
As one
People
of
with
many
18 to 35 years of age out of work.
Hey, I don't have the skill for this particular problem to solve this particular problem.
None of us talked about the bread seller.
Hello and welcome to the Heart of the Matter. My name is Omotayo. Now, in Nigeria, the agricultural sector is one that is full of promise. There is a lot of talk in the news and in the media about the potential that agriculture has to expand and to increase the economy of the country. However, it seems like it is still taking a little while for Nigeria to fully get the memo. But a few people are starting on the agribusiness train, and they're actually doing real big things and making impact in this sector. Today, we are speaking with Tobi Ohioma-Belo, the COO of Belo Foods, an agribusiness company that's focused on a value chain in the agricultural sector. She deals in snails and palm wine as well as other produce, and we'll be talking to her about her journey. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. Welcome back. Hi, Tobi.
Hi, Omati.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
But it's so nice to have you here with us.
So nice to be here.
We're excited because we're going to talk about Belo Foods, which I know is so dear to your heart.
It is.
But let's go kind of like on the journey of Belo Foods.
Okay.
What did you do before you started Belo Foods?
So I worked with my mom, so to say. So we used to run an event planning company. Okay. We also had the skill acquisition training program and also had the bakery. So I did that for 2 years before she moved to Ghana and had to venture into Belo Foods.
Right, okay. And then why did you decide, like, because I've spoken to you before and you talked about how there were different versions of Belo Foods before you landed where you were. So tell us about, what did you start with?
Okay, so when I started Belo Foods, I started with snails.
Okay.
So I'm a lover of snails,
okay.
And the only time I get to have snails was when I probably would go to a restaurant or go to a fast food.
Right.
So instead of having chicken or having fish,
right.
I'd rather have snails because I just felt it was like a one-time thing.
Right.
Like, you know, something like a lot of people will tell you that this is luxury they have during
right.
the festive
like
period.
A delicacy.
So I never knew that, you know, snails were readily available in the community or in the society. So it wasn't, I'd never seen snails in the market before. The only places I saw snails were at the restaurant, or the places I probably saw live snails were maybe if I go to my grandmother's house or during the raining season. So I didn't know it was something readily available in the market in Lagos until I started my research. And, you know, I just looked at it that the only time I had to probably have snails was at restaurants or when I probably go to a village.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, okay, so if I'm like this, the different urban citizens or inhabitants who are also like this, they would also love snails, and it's always probably difficult for them to get. So they have to wait for maybe when one of their relatives are coming from. So I was just like, okay, I think this is something I can do, and that's how Belo Foods, started. Yeah.
Right. So did you have the name of the business before you knew that you were going to do snails, or did you do snails and then give it a name?
No, Belo has always been there because when I was also in the event industry, I had the cocktail business I did. So everything I'd always done, it was Belo cocktails, it was Belo fashion. Like there was a time I did T-shirts, so it has always been Belo. So Belo is just a funky way of my son name.
Right. Okay, so Belo is spelled B-A-Y-L-O-W.
Yes,
but your
correct.
Surname is spelled
B-E-L-O.
B-E-L-O.
Yes.
Right. So in this journey, there was a moment when you got the courage to start.
Yeah.
Tell us that story.
Okay, so so I'd gone for Do It Afraid conference, which was pioneered by, or Omilala was the convener, and I didn't even know agribusiness was a big deal, and I listened to a lot of people's stories because, when I finished university and I started business, I'd done a lot of things, and if I look back now, in my mind, like, if I never stopped, I know where I would have been right now.
Right. Like financially.
Yeah, not financially, like I mean milestones. I'll
Right,
probably
okay.
be like, you know, a leading brand in
Right.
this industry.
Right.
And because I remembered when I started cocktails then, I had my ad on Fouquet Bucknut. It's a big deal. Like
Right,
anybody
that
who
is a big
probably sees
deal.
that now. So each time when I never knew that you had to have obstacles in business,
Right.
because growing up, I had everything. I don't want to say I had everything easy, but I had everything, you know, at my beck and call. So
Right.
if I had issues, you know, somewhere, I had someone who was going to bail me out.
Right.
So each time when I had this business and I got to a crossroad,
Yeah.
instead of me to persevere, I just back out.
Right.
Then I'm like, this business isn't for me.
Right.
Then because I'm an idea generator, I'm a lateral thinker, another idea comes to me, then I start up another one. Then in the middle of it,
Another challenge.
another
comes.
challenge, so when I started Belo Foods, I was like, you know what? I'm going to persevere. I'm going to have delayed gratification. I'm going to learn patience. So Belo Foods has taught me a lot of things. Like I've started Belo Foods 2016. I know how many times I've gone on vacation, so to say.
Vacation.
Yeah, like I've gone on break, 2 months break. There's sometimes 6 months break.
Right.
There's sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Then I remember I have people I have to serve. I remember I have people people looking up to me, and I remember that, you know, I have so much to do for myself too.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I actually want to dwell on that a bit because
Okay.
I know that there are many people who they have a lot of ideas and they're always starting something. But because they're facing the challenges like you talked about, they keep stopping. But for you, what you're explaining to us shows that even if you stop for as long as 6 months, it doesn't mean that it is
That's the
dead.
end now.
Yeah. So at each point, how did you come back out?
Okay, so at each point,
Yeah.
I realized, okay, so why did I stop? So was it because of finances? Okay, so I've had few times where I had stopped was because there was a particular time that I could remember, that was last year, which you probably knew about it, I was burnt out. And that was because I didn't have structure in place.
Right.
So I've had different reasons why I had to stop, maybe because I had issues with my sourcing.
Right.
And maybe because of the pricing, so I had to wait. Because I don't want my customers to think, you know, my goods are pricey.
Right.
So I'll wait, like, okay, let me find another source.
Right.
Then I'd had to stop because I was burnt out. Like I said, I didn't have structure.
Right.
I'd had to stop because I was just weighed down. I had to stop because of emotional, like personal issues.
Yeah.
I'd had to stop because of finances.
Right.
I had to stop just because, you know what, I just can't deal. But each time I come back, and I really appreciate my customers who like, oh, you know, when I come back, like, you know, Tobi, we've not eaten snails since you've been away. And I'm like, you know what, I'm back and I'm
Yeah.
better. But, you know, I need your continuous loyalty. I need your
Right.
continuous support. But, you know, one day at a time, we'll
Yeah.
take it. And we know that, you know, Belo Foods is going to be the global name it's going to be.
Yeah, yeah. I know because we've talked about this to some degree before, but I really like the idea of you talking about perseverance because
It's key.
sometimes you think perseverance means that you don't give up, but it almost sounds as if perseverance means that even when you give up,
You just have to come
you know
back.
that you can come back.
Yeah.
And even when you talked about like your loyal customers and things like that, so do you have a support system, like your customers obviously, but like what really gets you through, like in the practical sense, like when you're in that moment where you're just like, okay, do you know what, it's over, it's done, what really brings you out of it?
Okay, a lot of things. I have support systems. I want to also say that I'm my own support system, like,
Right.
yeah, in
Yeah.
quotes,
Yeah.
because I'm like, what would I say about myself? So for me now, it's not about what would people say about me.
Right.
I owe myself. Belo
Right.
Foods is my pet project. It's my
Right.
baby. This is a brand I want to build. So
Yeah.
if at the end of the day everything crumbles or I leave it out there, what do I want? What does that say?
Yeah.
You know, about me. So I use that,
Right.
like, Tobi, you can do better.
Right.
Tobi, you can do this.
Right.
Then I have people, I have my siblings, I have my mom, I have friends.
Yeah.
Then I have customers who really believe in me. And, you know, when they don't see me for a while, I get calls, I get messages like, oh, I just want to know if you're fine. Like right now, I've been off social media for like 2 months, and I still
You still have orders.
I still have orders.
Right.
It's just that I'm just tired of this old social media,
Right.
thing. And I have customers who send me a message like, oh, it's been a while you posted. I'm like, yeah, it's been a while I posted, but please,
you're
I am
here.
still in business.
So can you speak about that? Because a lot of people think that if you're not on social media, then that means you don't have a business or it's not working for you. How do you measure the impact of social media on your business versus like now that you've taken a break?
So what I've come to realize is, I understand that the world is a global market, or it's going to be a global market.
Yeah.
But there's still some customers that you have to tend to who are not in this global market, or who will never be in this global market.
Right.
So there's a place of the physical marketing, there's the place of the one-on-one, and there's the place of social media. Yeah. One thing I've come to realize is because for 2 years that I've dwelled on social media, I have forgotten the physical marketing, like the old marketing kind of thing that we had before the social media. But one thing I've come to realize is whatever business you want to do or whatever business you are into, you have to, like all the types of marketing are encompassing. So you just have to look at the one. I wouldn't say the one you have to leverage on, but you have to do a ratio of each and every one that, like you still have to do email marketing, still have to do telemarketing, you still have to do social marketing. You still have to do all types of marketing, really.
Yeah.
Because social media marketing is all like, it's your shop.
Yeah, right.
So you have to open it.
Right.
So you have to go to shop to
Right.
open so that customers will know that
you are open for business. Right. Okay. So social media is important, but you're just saying that it's not the only avenue.
It's not the only avenue.
Right. Okay. Let's take a break on that, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back in a moment.
The agri-space is so much, and there's a lot to do. So everybody doesn't have to be a farmer. So you can supply us with machineries. That's one thing. So you can have an agri-business where it's just tractors and arrows. Like you work on the machinery and you get people who hire them and use them on their farm. Or you can decide to have a storage facility for farm produce. So here the cucumbers are growing, so we are done with the staking. So I'm just going through, to see what the farmers have done. I've not been here in 1.5 weeks. This is interesting. Wow. Let's go see some big cucumbers. Oh. Can you see that? They are big. Like I'm going to be going all green, all smoothie green. Wow.
Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter. We're still here with Tobi Ohioma-Belo, the COO of Belo Foods. All right, Tobi, before we went on the break, we're talking about marketing and social media versus real life marketing. And you're just talking about how it's important to do all kinds of marketing and not just rely on one. But now I want to move from there to talk about your exploit into farming. So earlier this year, you started a farm.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us about that? Like from the process of how do you start a farm? Where did the idea come from?
Okay, so it was part of, like I said, from time to time I go on break. So this one I was on a break and I was virtually not doing anything because I was still looking at, other places I could source from.
Right.
So I have this very good friend of mine who's so passionate about agriculture, and she was like, oh, Tobi, so I have this, and we were praying together, so she needed someone who could support her, so we were praying together, and she needed someone who, she could run ideas with, and luckily I was available. So from time to time, I'd go with her, to her office.
Yeah.
Then when she told me that she had secured some acres of land, I was like, okay, you know what, it won't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Since we're on this journey together, let's go. And that was how we started traveling all the way from Lagos to Ogun State every day. I think we did that for 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah, till I wouldn't say I got tired. So, no, it was a good experience really because I was able to plant pepper, I was able to plant cucumbers, I was able to till. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from her.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing. I wouldn't lie to you because I had serious sunburn. I know. I was
You were
dark,
physically
dark
on the farm.
Yes, I was physically
Tilling
tilling, doing yes.
Wow.
Doing making ridges, making
Wow.
beds. Yes.
Like physically
Yes,
digging.
and also making nurseries. I was there. Yeah, and also
Wow.
planting.
Wow. I mean, obviously, if you're going to be farming long term, it's not sustainable for the owner of the business to be the one.
No, not at all, not at all. But you know, because at the beginning of this, you need detailing, you need some data that you have to put down.
Right.
So that's why you have to be on ground.
Yeah. All right. So after exploring all of that, do you think you'll go into farming full time at some point?
Full time, because I'm looking at it, being a family business.
Right.
Yeah. So definitely, I have a few plans on how I would like to, to run
To do that. Can you
that.
share any with us?
So I'm looking at where individuals and or family members or corporate bodies can subscribe to farm produce either fortnightly or monthly.
Right, okay.
So where a situation whereby people can actually fund your business or fund the farming, and they know that, okay, I pay a particular amount of 10,000 naira, and in 3 months I'm going to get this produce from you.
Right.
So it's not like, so you already know, like
What
you
you're
have
going
their
to
data,
get.
so they already know what they're going to get, and you know
Right.
the time frame they will get that.
Right. Okay, that sounds really interesting. So is it like if I'm interested, I would pay a certain amount every
you
month or
subscribe.
every quarter?
Yeah.
So it's a subscription.
Yeah, it's a subscription.
And then you agree on what you want beforehand.
Yes.
And then you just expect it. You don't have to go to the farm and come back, or go to the market.
Not at all. So you just
comes
deliver it to them. So it's just like you're planning. So with your subscribers, you're planning what you're planting.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
You're
plan
planning
planted.
what you're
Yeah.
planting.
You're
I
planning
really
that.
like that. Okay. Belo Foods, you've talked about snails, but you also have palm wine.
Yes, I do.
Can you talk about because I mean, like, how do you store palm wine?
Oh, palm wine storage, that has been my major issue, with this business, because for me, when I want to do things, I put myself in the customer's or the consumer's position. So
Right.
something I know that I won't be able to put my money on, I would
Right.
rather not sell to people.
yeah.
So when I started the palm wine, it used to be, pre-order, then I
Right.
get to the farm, because I actually source from the tappers themselves. So no mixing,
Right.
no adulteration.
Okay.
So once you pre-order, so if, let's say we're going to deliver to you on Friday, we just start taking the orders by Monday. So by Wednesday, Thursday, we cut off all
Right.
orders. Then we
Right.
send so that it can be prepared.
Yeah,
Then we
okay.
pick it up on Friday, and we make sure we deliver that same day to you.
Right.
So you get it, probably whatever
Fresh.
palm wine you're getting is probably fermented like 3-4 hours before
Right.
after you get it, but you know that this is still fresh palm wine.
Yeah.
So storing palm wine now, I'm still praying for a miracle to see how, this can still, be preserved. Like I've tried a few ones, but
Yeah.
I've still not, gotten it right. So right now I'm still doing the old pre-order. Then also I latch on to the festive period, which really is
Right.
so I'd rather just, concentrate on that.
On
So
the
I have
festive
time
period.
where I do that now.
Okay. And you've talked about sourcing a lot. Was that a challenge at any point when you were doing your business? Finding people to source from?
For palm wine or for
palm
snails?
wine and for snails, or how did you compare the two?
I think at the beginning, because the thing is, you just have to ask questions.
Right.
Like, okay, ask local people questions,
Yeah.
or ask people from the lower pyramid, like, oh, where do you think I can get it? I think
Right.
those are like, depending on what you do, I think there are few people where you can, get answers to what you're sourcing.
Right.
So let me say at the initial stage, maybe the first 2 months of the snail business, I went different places, tried some different locations, and I'm still sourcing, because as the business grows, I know that some demands can't be met. So that's why I'm looking at how I can also start my snail farming snail farming.
Okay.
And if I can't do snail farming, I can do a collaboration with other snail farmers that I know that
Right.
they're doing production in mass.
Right.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, when you say you are in the value chain, what does that mean for your focus? So you're saying that even though you can go into farming, that's not it. So just explain this whole value chain thing and how you come in.
Okay, so farming, so agriculture is not just farming.
Right.
Like it has been presumed, for
Right.
a long time. Like
Right.
when anybody says, "Oh, I'm into agriculture," they're like, "Oh, so you're a farmer."
Right.
No, you really don't have to be a farmer. The agricultural value chain, it could be education, it could be
Right.
manufacturing, it could be
Right.
processing, it could be supplies, it could be, because the same people who actually make who actually rear the cows are not the one pasteurizing
Right.
the milk. So that's what the value
That's
chain
what
is.
that
So
means, right.
I don't have to be the one what's it called, farming the snails
Right.
before I know that I'm
Yeah, the one
into a
who's
snail
selling
business.
it.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I remember speaking to someone on one of the episodes of the show who said, for instance, being a tailor and knowing how to sew is different from running a tailoring business.
Yes,
The
sure.
skills you need are completely different, and that seems to be
Absolutely.
part of what you're talking about. Okay. So what would you say to like an entrepreneur who wants to go into agribusiness and is also thinking, should be their farms. Let me just farm. Let me just go. What would you say to that kind of person about the real challenges that come with it and also the rewards of it?
First of all, do your research. Don't plunge into anything you do not know about.
Right.
Do your research, but I think really Nigeria, we do not have a database for a lot of things. Like when
Right.
I started, I tried to do my research. I tried to look for things online.
Yeah.
I couldn't get. So I'm learning
Right.
as
As you're going along.
I'm learning on the journey. So I have people who call me and tell me, I want to do this. I would like you to, like when I look at cleaning of snails, I learned
Right,
that. When I look
right.
at removing of snails, I learned,
Right.
there were things I learned. They have to do their research. They
Right.
have to have someone who's done that, because the thing is, whoever you ask for help
Yeah.
has made mistakes and has
Right.
been able to fashion a way like, okay, I don't have to do this anymore. So
Right.
it saves you time,
Right.
it saves you money, and you gain knowledge, and
Right.
you're good to go.
The business of training people in agri-business and all the things you've learned, would you consider kind of introducing that into what Belo Foods does, like
Yeah.
a training sector?
Yeah, at the long run.
In long
yeah,
run,
at the,
yeah.
yeah, at
But-
the long
but
run.
not
I will-
now.
Not now, not
Right.
now. Because I will still say that I'm in the early stage, even if people think that,
You've been there.
I've been like, but I still think I'm in the early stage. I really want to be able to tell you, okay, come and pay 200K for this, and it's
Right.
real value
and it's
for your
value
money.
for your
Yes.
money. Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's no training school for how to clean snails,
Nah.
for instance. So what did you have to do to learn? Like, how did you learn how to clean snails?
So I went to the local market.
Right.
I went to the local market to learn how to clean.
So did
snail.
you see like a snail seller and say,
Yeah.
auntie,
Yeah, I did.
and you sat there
Yeah,
and you did it?
and I sat there and I
Yeah.
was taught.
Yeah. I love that because obviously, like you're talking about, if somebody else wants to come and do snails and they want that information, you have it, so you can teach it. So it's already clear value because they don't have to go all the way to Ingo
Yeah,
Market
they don't.
to get this. I really, really like that. So what is in the future for Belo Foods?
A lot. Like I mentioned, I really want to go into farming, and I have some specific vegetables of some specific farm produce
Okay.
that I want to do. And Belo Foods is also okay, so this is like in the very near future. This is something we're starting next year, have a snail factory
Okay.
where we process the snails.
Okay.
And also process the byproducts of the snails. So looking at the snail slime for cosmetic.
What
Yeah.
is used for cosmetics?
Yeah, so-
How is it?
So the snail slime is good for rejuvenating your skin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very good.
So you
I know
can-
they do that in South Africa already. They do that in China. They do that in Germany. So there's that's another value.
Yeah.
And the snail shells, they're very good source of calcium.
Really?
So you can actually eat
this.
you can use them for animal feeds, for
Okay.
chicken,
Right.
fish.
Right.
Like every byproduct of the snail
Has
as a use. Like I remember then when I was in Marina, when I was at the Kapaka Marina, I had people who bring their bottles for the snail water. They actually sell it.
What
Yeah,
do they
I
use
just-
snail water for?
According to what people said, you can have that with honey if you're asthmatic. You can use that for high blood pressure.
So there's so many things that
Yeah,
you can get
benefits,
from
yeah.
just this one thing, and it's not just buy a snail, eat it.
I'm
There are
looking
other
at
things.
exploring that.
Oh, I love it. So how can we reach you? We want to eat your snails. How can we reach you?
Kindly send us a DM.
Okay.
So even if I'm not posting, at least I'm still on the DM.
Right.
And we also have a link in our bio.
Okay.
That's a phone number, so we can be reached either voice call or WhatsApp message.
Okay. So you are accessible.
Belo Foods.
Belo Foods at Belo Foods
Yeah.
on Instagram. You check your DMs.
Yeah.
And your phone number is in the bio.
Yes.
Okay. We'll also have your phone number scrolling on the screen so that people can contact you.
Yeah, please do.
All right, fantastic. All right, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
From food to beauty, the giant African land snail is in demand. For one Nigerian entrepreneur, business is moving rather faster than the creatures themselves.
The export business came when I started here in Lagos, and I had a lot of inquiries from the US, from UK, from Holland.
The mollusks are sought for their mucus, said to be full of collagen and other compounds that regenerate skin cells. Tobi hopes to one day open her own snail factory, producing snail meat and collecting mucus, as well as grinding snail shells into powder for fertilizer and poultry feed.
So we're going to a segment of the show that is called Rapid Fire Questions.
Okay.
It's not about snails. They are really, really random questions.
Okay.
So you're not supposed to think so much about it. Just answer.
Okay.
Okay. So because we talked about snails, we talked about
I hope I
agribusiness.
don't fall my hand.
Let's relax a bit.
Okay.
Let's relax a bit. Okay, are you ready?
Let's go.
First one. What do you prefer, cooking the food or eating the food?
Both.
No, if you have to choose one.
Cooking.
Cooking?
Yeah.
Really?
I love cooking. You know I love cooking.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean...
I cook a storm.
You cook up a storm. Okay, we'll come and visit you to come and eat.
That's not a problem.
All right. What would you rather, if you could choose between fame and fortune, which would you choose?
Fortune,
I
I
mean,
think. What's fame doing?
What's
There are a lot of
fame
people who are famous that deserve a fortune.
okay, cool. So what would you prefer to cook? Like Nigerian African delicacies or like some foreign mede-mede type of
Depends on my
things?
mood.
Really?
Depends on my mood. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your go-to? Like if you want to just slay somebody, you just want to show your cooking skills.
Please, let's do a furry roll.
Yeah.
Oil sipo. You know, some fresh fish and some crabs and some,
And
know,
some snails,
shrimps,
of
you know.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Okay. Now, if there was an alternate universe, this is the last question, and food has gone out of fashion, we don't eat again, there's no agribusiness, what would you be doing instead?
How we talking?
You'll be talking for a living?
Yeah, we're
like
talking
in
for
which
a
way?
living.
Like as a talk show host, as a counselor, as a teacher?
As a consultant.
As a consultant, right.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. So you really need to explore this Belo Foods consultancy business. You think about it. Okay, that's the end of our rapid question. See, you're so easy.
Yeah.
You're so chilled. Yeah. And that's our show. Thank you so much.
Can you have me again?
Please, welcome. Our couch is always welcome.
Maybe next time let's do peppered snails.
Let's do like a pepper snails
Yeah.
party.
Not a peppered snail party, like show them how to do peppered snails at home. What do you think?
Ooh, I would love that. Would love that. Okay, stay tuned. Belo Foods is coming back
Okay.
with a tutorial, a free tutorial of how to make peppered snails. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Amati.
so much. All right, and that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Please remember to follow us on social media. We are at HOTM TV on Instagram. We are at Heart of the Matter on Facebook, and we are HOTM channel on YouTube. Until next time, have a great week.